rock that.
Alright, so if I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really all that enticed and excited to watch last week's episode for My Hero Academia. I don't know, because of the way that I kind of reacted to the episode week before, I was just kind of like, it's just going to be basically consisting of Bakugo wanting to beat the shit out of fucking kids. It's probably going to be hilarious, but end of the day, that's pretty much nothing else really other than that. But we actually got a couple of, cute and neat character moments. We get to see these kids have different kinds of quirks that we haven't really seen before, and some of them are kind of cool, some of them are kind of like, what the fuck, and some of them are like, okay, that's a little ridiculous, but it's still kind of awesome for some reason. And we get a little bit of character development within the episode as well with certain people. Kind of Bakugo and mainly Todoroki, and he has a scene with Endeavor, his dad, in the episode that I actually really liked, and I'll get to that in a second. But basically the episode starts off back where we had left off in the previous episode, which is basically just Bakugo, Kami, Todoroki, and Inasa trying to win over the hearts of these kids, right? And Kami has, her glamour quirk where she's able to temporarily cast illusions, and so she does that. Todoroki uses his ice powers to essentially be able to create this ice slide for the kids to ride on, and Inasa uses his quirk to be able to lift the kids up so they can get to the top of the slide and be able to ride downwards. And Bakugo has a little bit of a scene where he actually gets character development, and I say kind of, but he does genuinely develop more as a character in this one scene, and I actually really liked it, and I think it was good for his character, and it shows that he does take the heart of some of the stuff that has happened to him and the lessons that he has learned, since coming to this point in his life of becoming a new generation of pro heroes. And it's it's the fact that he finds the little kid who's essentially the leader of these group of kindergartners, right? And he tells them that if you keep looking down on everybody, you're not going to be able to see your own weaknesses. And that shows that Bakugo himself has even noticed some of his own weaknesses. And obviously we've seen that before previously in past episodes, but even back in season 1, where he acknowledges the mistakes that he made during the whole combat exam, not really exam, but combat testing thing that happened, him against Midoriya back in season 1, and he acknowledges his mistakes there and his weaknesses, and now he's saying that the little kid shouldn't be doing that, especially at that point of his life where he's not even close to these people's, the Bakugo's level, not to boost his ego or boost the character's ego or anything, or not even to boost himself, his ego at all, but just the fact that it's a thing that needs to be known for these kids at this age because of the fact that of just how they've been acting, especially towards their teacher. And I think it's a good character development moment for him, and I actually really liked it. So end of the day, they passed their provisional license exams. They're able to get through, and Todoroki leaves with everyone else. They're outside. There's a little moment where they mention that Shiketsu and Yue might actually start, working together more often in terms of giving each other information and, training together and etc. But one moment of the episode that I actually really liked and really enjoyed and was definitely my favorite scene of the episode was just the scene of Endeavor and Todoroki talking to each other. And they're not arguing, they're not really doing anything, but the whole past couple episodes, Endeavor's been talking to All Might, and he's been trying to look for answers to questions that he's been, waiting for. And essentially by the end of all this happens is that he decides that he wants to change up himself. He wants to start becoming a better person, start becoming a better hero. He wants to move on from his past and his mistakes that he's made before, move on from that and become a better person and ultimately become a better hero. And he mentions that to Todoroki. He says that he wants to work hard and try to become a father that his son can be proud of, and that he was proud of his son for being able to, get past his mistakes that he's made before and be able to come back from that and pass his provisional license exam. And just the scene of just a father telling his son that he's proud of him, even though he has made his own mistakes and his son has made mistakes of his own as well. Uh, this just kind of hit home for me for some reason. I think it's mainly just because of the fact that me and my personal life, I didn't really have my father, too often in my life, to the point where, like, he was around. Like, it's not that he was never around, but he just wasn't the father that I really needed growing up, and he didn't really act like a father to me sometimes. And all I ever really wanted from him was to know that he was proud of me, and that I can be proud of him with whatever he does. Um, and Todoroki's dad, Endeavor, was able to do that for him in this scene. And Todoroki puts up a front, he still wants to act like he doesn't care about his dad and that he's still mad at him for what he's done before. But then by the end of that scene, you see him actually smiling, and he actually really appreciate the fact that his father took the time out of the day to go ahead and mention that. And I just think it was a really special scene, and I think it was a good character development for Todoroki, but mostly for Endeavor, because now maybe he'll potentially become a much greater hero and a much better person, because ultimately what any person that in this situation wants to end up doing is they want to get past this situation, and they want to have a better relationship with that person who may have made mistakes before in the past. Ultimately what a father and son want to do is be a father and a son, and even if either one of them has made mistakes, they should be able to get past that and still love each other as family. And I just really like that. I just really like that scene. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really heart touching. It kind of hit home to me a lot, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. So that was that scene. And then the episode after that just continues on with Aoyama basically just creeping up on Midoriya for some reason. He's like leaving hints of the fact that he knows about something of Midoriya, and etc., etc. And it almost seems like they're hinting at the fact that Aoyama is actually like a secret spy for like maybe the League of Villains or something, some sort of villainous group, and that he's trying to get information on certain other people and yada yada. But no, that's not the case. It's just that he, once Aoyama and Midoriya have a moment to themselves as they're in class and they're practicing and they're trying to enhance their quirks a lot more, Aoyama mentions the fact that Midoriya's quirk isn't adjusted and compatible with his body. And obviously he mentions that because Aoyama's quirk isn't compatible with his body either. He mentions that fact, and that it's always been that way since he was young. He always had to wear that like waist thing, over his his belly button, and because he didn't want the navel laser to just blast off because he wasn't able to control it. His body just wasn't compatible with the quirk. And he said he really related a lot to Midoriya because Deku he wasn't really compatible with the quirk at that point in time when he first joined UA as well. And over time he's become a lot more compatible. He's able to use it a lot more, but he's still not able to use it at its full capacity just yet, like everybody else seems to be able to do. And it was this little moment of character development with Aoyama that I think is good, because he's definitely a character that gets less shine and it's just kind of there to be comedic purposes. And I feel like that he could be an interesting character, but they don't really do anything with him. And the fact that they were able to do this scene with him in this episode was actually kind of nice and different enough that I was like, yeah, I actually kind of liked that. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But the episode just kind of ends after that, and not much really else happens afterwards. And just ultimately, I really actually just enjoyed the episode for what it was worth. It did some stuff that I actually just really liked, and at moments it was just kind of cute. It was kind of cute to see these characters like Bakugo and Todoroki interact with these little kids, and I don't know. Just there was also a couple other character moments of development as well that I felt like was really good, mainly with Todoroki and Endeavor. I thought that was really good. I can't really praise that enough, more than I already sort of have, but that's besides the point. I think I've made my point come across within this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Tomorrow is the next episode, so hopefully to do something interesting there. Judging by the previews, maybe it's something interesting and maybe it'll be fun for what it's worth. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and wrap up the video. If you did enjoy for whatever reason, be sure to leave a like. If you're unsubscribed for more videos like this, I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.